Hey everybody, welcome to GameHounds podcast. Oh, did I just blow your ears out? I'm sorry.
No, it's just
GameHounds podcast. We are here. It is episode 567, and we're just doing our pre-show stuff. Nick was and I and Andrew and I were talking about Big Sexy. We're talking about
terrible movies.
bad movies that are so good, so bad they're good. Car accidents that you can't stop watching.
If I
and that
recommend
came from this because SF Sketchfest, I want to let everyone know about this. SF Sketchfest is a comedy festival that happens annually in San Francisco, and it's a fairly big deal. I mean, San Francisco, it's comedy. You're going to get big ticket stuff, but they had to postpone themselves this year because of the pandemic. So they have announced that they're going to go virtual at the end of, this year, and they've delayed it to this month. And they're going to do a live, as you can see from this, a live that theatrical reenactment of the entire movie of Plan 9 from Outer Space. And it's going to be starring people like Dana Gould from The Simpsons, Maria Bamford, Bob Odenkirk from Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, Tim Meadows from SNL, Lorraine Newman from SNL, just a huge cast. And it's, of course, virtual, so you don't have to go to San Francisco to enjoy it. And it's $10 to watch it virtually, which means you only buy one ticket for $10 and everybody in their house can watch it. So yeah, if you're interested, please feel free to go to sfsketchfest.com. Yeah, sfsketchfest.com, and you can buy your ticket, your $10 ticket for, it's going to be awesome. It's October 29th from 6 to 9 p.m. And that got us talking about bad movies. The worst of the best.
Yeah, the best of the
best
worst.
of the worst.
There's a show on YouTube called Best of the Worst, put on by Red Letter Media. I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. One of their early episodes that I think is a good indication of what you'll get is it's episode 4 in the playlist, but they talk about Deadly Prey, Hard Ticket to Hawaii, and Miami Connection. So if you see that for Best of the Worst, that's a good one. And that reminds me, they also have a sub-series called Wheel of the Worst, which is where they put the videos that they get that aren't even movies. They're instructional videos, weird-ass yoga videos, stuff from the 90s that's like, don't do drugs. Like,
that's awesome.
All this weird stuff, they put it on a wheel and they spin it. And they have to watch whatever it is. Sometimes it's great, and it's like, oh, this is just a 20-minute weird yoga video. Other times it's like, this was a fucking 2.5-hour stage show put on by seniors. It was so slow and so boring. And they're like, when is it going to end? So, Wheel of the Worst and Best of the Worst. Great shows.
Yep.
That is for people who just like to watch other people suffer.
Well, so I was telling you earlier, sometimes they'll get true gems. I don't know which Wheel of the Worst it is, and I'll try to find it. But it's one, I don't want to say too much, but it's a bad video, but it is fucking amazing, and they love it, and they put it in the Hall of Fame because they loved it so much. I'm gonna look this up.
And hey, the 3 people that are here, there are 3 people that are here and only 1 like on this video. I'm going to call you guys out for not giving this video a thumbs up. It does make a difference. Even if you hate us, just give us the thumbs up. Even if it's a terrible episode, give us a thumbs up. I'm calling you out. There's only 1 thumbs up, but there's 3 of you watching. You know who you are. There we go. There's the second one. Somebody, that one person, you know who you are. I'm calling you out right now. 4 people and 2 thumbs up. I'm giving you a hard time now. If you haven't hit thumbs up, go hit thumbs up on that video. Unless
technically, thumbs downs help too.
really?
Just throwing that out there. Yeah, like any engagement with a video makes it more popular with the algorithm.
Go right ahead. You want to give us a thumbs down? Give us a thumbs down. Fine.
just so everyone knows.
Don't be dicks, but yeah, I mean, if you need to do it, if you think we deserve it, give it to us. Google and its algorithms. All right. So first off, can we start off with how gray I truly am? Now you can actually see after being indoors for 214 days of the stay-in order. And it's been a couple of years since I had my hair. Look how gray I am. I am going full Cruella DeVille right now.
Gonna kill some puppies.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, I've got flat out like the streaks and everything.
I'll get there someday.
I found it. Wheel of the Worst, episode 16.
Wheel of the Worst.
I'm not going to tell you.
Why don't you share it? Why don't you share the screen that you found it on so that we can see it?
It's on their playlist, just like Wheel of the Worst.
But you're making me do the work for you. God, you're worse than my husband. Wheel of the Worst. Episode what?
16. Like, you don't need to bring it up. And they're not going to tell you what's in it because they don't know what's in it to begin with. I'm just going to say, if you want to feel good about life and you want to just laugh and be happy, Wheel of the Worst, episode 16.
All right, there you go. That's how it starts. If it doesn't start like that, that's not it.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, I think there are multiple episodes where he walks in the room drinking because of what they're about to do. That's a reoccurring trope.
55 minutes. I may have to drag Kevin in later for that. All right, let me get something to drink, and then we will start the regular show. Carry on.
Okay. I should actually look for some news.
I got something to drink. I'm good. I forgot that I'd already done that.
Yes, this is now the time to look for some news, Nick.
Now, yeah, exactly.
During the pre-show. That's what the pre-show is for.
I hate you. Today's sparkling is not sparkling anymore. This is actually was opened a couple of hours ago, so it's no longer. But it's grapefruit bubbly.
Oh, I never said.
Hashtag not sponsored.
I don't have it, but you should try Spindrift if you haven't already.
Oh, Spindrift?
You know Spindrift? Yeah.
It's alcoholic water.
No, it's not.
Isn't it?
No.
I know I've had Spindrift. What is it?
It's just it's a more flavorful sparkling water. Like the bubbles are kind of tinier.
Yes. Got my cousin loves the grapefruit Spindrift. It's all right. It's fine.
It's very good. I have some, and it's very good. In the league of sparkling water, it is the king.
Yep. There we go. There's the link for Best of the Worst, episode 16. Thank you. Corey Wallace says, there, I gave you a thumbs up. This better be good episode or I'll retract my opinion.
You can't retract a like once you've given it. That's illegal.
Bubbler is better. Maybe. I wouldn't say I'm a connoisseur. My favorite is the Canada Drive. I went balding and speckled white in my 20s, Edie. Your hair is fine. Yeah, all I need to do is have a Dalmatian coat and I'll be a complete complete package. All right, so do what you do, you guys. You talk amongst yourselves. I got to get this the audio stream going here. By the way, can you hear my air purifier when it starts up? Can you hear it now?
No,
slightly.
Okay, good.
I mean, to me, it just sounded like a little white noise in the background.
Yeah, it fired up hard about 2 minutes ago. All right, so I need to let's not broadcast this show on my regular daily show that goes clean.
We can get some viewers.
No, it would be bad. Preferences. Let's see. All right. I've got to log out. Log in. So, what did you guys do this weekend?
Oh, I saw Tenet.
Oh,
Yeah,
how
is
was
it good?
I really, really loved it. The more I think about it, the more I like it. But yeah, I realized there was a theater open about an hour away from me because nothing closer is open. And I was like, fuck it. Yeah, I want to go see Tenet. And going was actually pretty good. Everyone seemed to wear the masks and not be eaten. But so that was cool. And the movie, it is the Nolanest Christopher Nolan movie he has ever made. So if you like his movies, this is like him and his shtick turned up to 11.
really?
Yeah. I really like his movies, so the more I think about this one, the more I like it, the more I like what it does and says, and I really want to see it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, ready to go live?
Sure.
All right.
And
let's
just to
do
be, I just want to clear up one thing. You said no one was eating, or no one was eaten. Like
Both.
okay,
Yeah. There was no T-Rex attack or Velociraptor attack. Maybe a couple compies came and killed someone quietly, and I just didn't notice. But there was no screaming.
okay, good. Just wanted to check.
And we also
Sure, I
don't
heard
have
that.
eating in the they don't sell popcorn or anything like
I
that
think
in
they
the
they did.
they
Because
did.
I thought I saw some people walking in with bags of popcorn, but
They might have
I
brought
didn't.
it from home. I don't think that they're
Maybe.
doing popcorn. They aren't allowed to. It depends on where you went or depends on the county, but most of the ones around me don't serve popcorn or eating stuff. They want you to
Yeah.
sit, watch the movie with your
Yeah.
mask on.
And I did that, and it's easy. Like watch, but having a mask on for 2.5 hours, it's not that hard. You're just sitting there. It's fine.
Yeah.
AC Rains is watching people building guitars on YouTube. Okay.
Huh. So, as a hobby, my dad actually makes cigar box guitars. He takes a cigar box, puts a neck on it and strings it, puts some electric pickups in there, and he sells some on eBay for $100. I should see what he thinks about videotaping them and maybe editing them into a YouTube thing.
Yeah,
That would.
absolutely.
Okay, so
I guess there's something called a great guitar build off. What an odd hobby.
What? The cigar
Your dad's
box?
hobby. Yeah.
Well, he plays guitars, and he smokes a lot of cigars. And so at a certain point, he stumbled across the thing on the internet about making guitars out of cigar box. And he was like,
I got
well,
both.
shit, I got both. So he's like, yeah, I'll get into this. I'll try
I got
it.
strings. I got cigar boxes. Why not?
Exactly. And so he started doing it a couple years ago. And yeah, they sound pretty good. They're really good.
Nice.
All
All
right.
right.
Speaking of movies,
Wait, I feel like we've interrupted Big Sexy several times.
We have. What does Big Sexy want to say?
I was looking
Come
up.
on, Big Sexy, tell us.
I want to see Tenet. It looks good.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I went to go look up my movie theater to see if it opened and what was playing. And Tenet is there, but so is The Croods. And that took me a second because, oh my god,
we're making sure that we are not interrupting you.
Yeah.
Anyways, The Croods, which is a movie from two.
Oh shit!
Jesus Christ!
I did not mean to do that. That was totally a mistake. Anyway, yes, The Crew. All right.
Yes, and then Hocus Pocus is also there, and that's hilarious to me. I'm going to go see Hocus Pocus in 2020.
Yeah, well, it's all the new movies got delayed, and so theaters are like, well, shit, let's bring back old stuff. I think Empire Strikes Back was the top movie a couple weeks ago. So yeah, they just need new blood. They need blood in the seats. The people in the seats. Maybe blood in the seats is the wrong
That is a
phrasing.
That is a very different visual. All right, so let's hit the regular show. You ready to go?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Modern culture and technology, and these podcasters are big fat potty mouths. If you're younger than 18 or are easily offended, please stop this podcast now. Oh, and your mom says to take out the trash and do your homework.
All right, mics are hot. Hello and welcome to GameHounds. GameHounds episode 567. We are recording on October 16th, 2020. I'm your host, Edie Sellers, and with me is Nick Nicola and Andrew Smith. Big sexy. Big sexy, baby.
You realize that the next show that'll line up in like order will be like 678.
Yeah,
like 5,
exactly.
6, 7.
That's what I actually, when I wrote it out today, I realized that we had 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7. We've only had 4 of these shows in almost 600 shows. We've only had 5 of these type numbers of running in order like that, if you think about it. So yeah, welcome to everybody. So we have our full chat room. By the way, if you are watching us on YouTube, please hit the notification bell, hit the thumbs up. There are a bunch of people watching. We only have 2 thumbs up. Turn it blue, friends. Hit that thumbs up for us. It does help quite a bit. No, or a thumbs down. You know, if you hate us, give us a thumbs down. Please don't hate us. Give it a chance. But if you please don't forget to do a thumbs up, notification bell, and subscribe to the channel. If you're in YouTube or Twitch, please also hit that notification and also subscribe to us or follow us. We are live on Spreaker as audio, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch all at once because we can multitask. And how was our week? What did we do? Anything interesting?
Played a couple new games.
Yeah. I didn't actually play any new games. I am so stuck on Crusader Kings. It's like I do this stuff all day in my job of trying to figure out the right way to do something and it's like I hate doing it in my job. And then I get some time to myself and then I do it in a game and love every minute of it. God, it is just like, I don't know what's going on. I try and, I figure out what's going on eventually, but it requires so much research and I love it. I love the fact that I have to I constantly come into situations where I'm not quite sure if this is the right way to do it. Like I got one son and then I'm a 70-year-old man. I'm supposed to be, for the most part, infertile. Get myself a 20-year-old wife because I need her for an alliance. And then she gets herself pregnant and she has another son. And it's like, and I don't have primogeniture inheritance. So my sons are going to inherit equally, which is going to split up my realm. What?
Is there?
Oh.
You can't kill them.
You can't
You make them have an accident.
When you're 70 years old, you can't just I'm going to murder you and you instantly murder. Everything you do takes time. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to murder you. Boom, you're murdered. It takes 11 to 12 months for a murder to be pulled off. You're 70. You could literally die at any minute. So
that's why it's important to get the plot going now rather than later.
Easier way to do it is to disinherit your youngest son, which you can do. It makes your son hate you, but you're about to die anyway. But there's this other option of making your child take vows, which would make him a member of the church, which means he can't inherit. And it's like, it gets you in, how awesome would it be that your son would eventually become a pope, which is entirely possible. So it's like, how is the right way to do this? Trying to get things away. And of course, running out of time because you're dying.
How old do they have to be before you can send them off to war?
They was 16. They become
Okay.
right.
86, you'll probably die before 86, especially in that game.
Yeah,
Like,
no, in that game,
Yeah.
I'm at 70. I'm pushing it. The oldest I have ever seen is they had a pope that lasted until 90. So, sorry, I have to do some stuff here. So, how's things?
Good.
Yeah.
What have you been playing? I usually go, but I've only been playing like one new thing.
Yep.
I played Genshin Impact.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I was surprised. So it's a free game on PlayStation. It's also on PC and mobile.
Uh-huh.
And the PC and mobile has cross progression, but not for the PS4 because PS4 is stingy.
Uh-huh.
But they all do have cross-play. So you can play with anyone if they're on PS4 or PC or mobile. You just can't carry over that progress from PS4.
Right.
And it's surprisingly fun.
Yep.
Apparently, the idea behind it was a free-to-play anime-esque Breath of the Wild with a heavy exploration aspect to it, and it's done pretty well. I've spent hours just exploring the environment and getting sidetracked. I'm trying to level up because at 16 of your adventure rank, which is like your global rank, you can do co-op, and I have a friend who I want to play with, but I keep getting distracted and just wandering to the ass ends of the map. Like, ooh, what's over here? And there's always a chest in the ass end of the map, so it rewards that little part of my brain for getting off track.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, you kind of do need to do that in order to get your adventure rank up, because just doing the quests doesn't increase it all that much, but everything else you do increases it. Opening a chest does, finding a dungeon does, killing an enemy does. So yeah, it definitely rewards you for going off to the edge of the map and just seeing what's there. And what I really like is the way the combat works. If you encounter an enemy that's way stronger than you, you do have a chance to defeat it. Like if you fight smart and if you use the elements to your advantage and if you dodge a lot, you can take on a strong enemy and beat it. And that feels extra rewarding to go someplace to punch above your weight and win.
Yeah. I've yet to successfully do that, but he is right.
I found one boss in a big arena area and was able to defeat it, and then later on the story took me there. And then I found another boss, like a big cube thing in another arena, and it kicked my ass. So I've backed away from that one. Yeah, no, that one, I don't know what I'm supposed to do there. Way to the north, right? Like straight up?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that one got me.
The game has a lot of little mini games and that make the exploration fun. There's these little Sealy fairy creatures that you have to follow around. It usually leads to a fight, and then you get a chest, or you have to get multiple versions of them and get all of them before you can get your loot. And then there's little action games where you have this glider and you can go through these wind rings, and then it's a time trial, stuff like that. And they're just littered across the map, and you can lose so many hours to it.
Yeah, it's just the wonderful type of thing where, you're on a mountain and you look over and you can see a chest that's kind of glowing. And so oh, there's a fight over there. Well, I'm going to go and do that. And then you look and you see one of those little floating, Sealy? Floating Sealy guys. And you're like, oh, I'm going to go get him and see where he brings me. And then you go someplace else and you're like, wait a minute, that wall there looks kind of interesting. I'm going to go smack it. And there's just all sorts of little things to discover.
Yeah. And just so you know, Sealy is just essentially fairy.
Okay.
That's all it pretty much means. One thing I found interesting is it's a gacha game, which means that you have heroes and then you draw from a pool and you hope you get it from RNG. And the game plays like an action game, but when you first start off, you only have the one character, your main character. And the combat isn't very deep with one character. You basically get a special, you get an ultimate, and then you get basic attacks and a heavy attack. There's no like combo to incorporate on one character, but every new character has its own ultimate and special ability. And while the attacks with the weapons vary slightly, they're mostly the same. But you end up being able to swap out between 4 different characters at once. You can only play one at a time, but you swap to one and you throw down an ability that does an AoE water like damage. Then you swap to an electricity person, and then you shock people, and this gives you an elemental burst or effect. And then you use their ability, and then you jump to another person having buffed based on the last person that you used, and you can kind of get this combo or setup going between 4 characters that you're playing at once.
Mhm.
And it ends up having quite a bit of depth on that. And
Yeah.
I was legitimately surprised.
Way more than you'd expect from a free-to-play gacha game. Like,
Yeah.
it takes all those mechanics from a mobile game, but it puts them into a genuinely complex and comprehensive like console RPG experience. Like it's just a well-designed RPG game in every way, and then it just adds in all those gacha aspects that can be frustrating. But I've noticed I've only spent the free material to run those, and I've gotten a couple characters, and with just the people I have, it feels like I have more than I would ever really realistically need.
Yeah. There's like 20 playable characters, and I already have like 11 of them. And when
Oh,
you
you
buy
have a lot.
yeah,
I think I only
when
have
you,
8 or so.
I got lucky and got a 5-star because the rarity is rating from 1 to 5. Yeah, it's actually pretty great. And when you pull from like this, they're called wishes. You can pull single or you can pull 10 at a time. And if you pull 10, you are guaranteed a 4-star, which typically is a character. And then if you get the same character over, there is buffs on the character that you start to unlock. And then you get like extra rewards that you can put back into like the wish system and the character itself. So even if you get the same character over and over, that character is still getting stronger from that, which is nice. Everything seems so simple. Like any individual piece, you'd be like, okay, this definitely feels like a mobile game. But with all of it at once and kind of not necessarily the complexity, but the fun of the puzzle as you're exploring, it turns into an enjoyable experience.
If it wasn't for the gameplay being so good, this would feel like just kind of your average cheap JRPG gacha game. Like I've played enough of these on mobile to see all of the trappings of it. But the fact that the gameplay is so comprehensive and that it's so good, like the combat's really good, the exploration is good, that the world is filled with so many interesting puzzles. Like it's weird to see like almost these 2 different worlds of game design crashing together, where you've got all the financial trappings of a mobile game with all the design trappings of a console game and pushing them together and realizing this actually works.
Yeah, like one little thing that I enjoy is throughout the map there are challenges that require a certain element. And so like you can swap out at any time unless you're in a dungeon, but you don't always want to like carry those characters around. But it's nice knowing that like, okay, I need a fire character for this. So I'm going to keep one on my team. So if I ever come across this exploring, I'm not having to swap out constantly.
Yeah.
And there are certain areas that, for instance, if you use an ice attack on water, it makes like a solid bridge. And I watched a video of someone who made a bridge all the way out to an island, and there was a chest on it. Like there was no other way to reach the island other than using ice attacks over and over again.
Is that island all the way to the east?
I think that's Musk Island, and that is
Okay,
you
'cause
get there
I
from a different
found
way.
yeah, I found a weird portal that took me there,
Same.
which is like yeah, the game is cool. I'm exploring. I find a weird portal in the air, and I'm like, I'm gonna try to jump into that, and it takes you to a
Mhm.
weird island.
It's apparently going to that's called the Abyss, and it's going to be like a dungeon floor crawler. Like you're going to keep trying to go farther and farther down.
Hmm.
Yeah, surprise! Like thumbs up. It's free. They give you enough starting off that like you get the chance to roll a good amount of times and get characters,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
there's enough complexity on individual parts that it ends up being a pretty deep game, more than I would assume off first look.
Hmm. Yeah, I've been playing more of this too over the week, and it's just a really good RPG, and the story is getting more and more interesting too, as I get deeper into it, and they kind of get into the politics of each realm and the gods that they worship, because each realm seems to worship a different elemental god. It's like, okay, this is kind of getting interesting.
It almost seems like this had no reason to have this much effort put into it. And
yes, yes, but they did,
yeah,
and good on them for doing it. But yeah, it's good.
thumbs up.
Thumbs up. All right. So, anything else anybody played?
Yeah, actually. I played a game called Phasmophobia.
Oh, I have seen that
I've
all
heard of
over
this.
YouTube. Oh, did you play it VR or did you just play it?
Just played it normally. It is a VR game,
Mhm.
and that would probably be the ideal way to play it. It is a little Unity game that is all about ghost hunting. And you don't capture the ghost. Your goal is to go into a house and find out exactly what type of ghost is there, and then you leave before you die.
Oh, that actually just reminded me. I think you in particular, Edie, cared, but I saw that Unity is actually on sale, like their stock is.
Yes.
They went on sale like a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
So
Yeah. In fact, I'll even look it up right now. See what
okay.
what their stock price is
What?
doing.
Yeah, Phasmophobia.
The game itself, from what I've played, I haven't played a lot of it. Like there's only like 5 or 6 maps, so it's a relatively small game, but it's only $14. The graphics are good enough. They're Unity. I mean, it's a small engine to begin with.
Yeah, it's also like I imagine a small team.
Oh, probably. The loop is essentially you buy objects at the beginning of a hunt, and you prep them for your team. If you die, you lose any items that you brought along. So you don't ideally want to die, as you might imagine, because it can actually cost you something. But what you do is you go in with these tools, and then you get clues. For instance, there is a spirit box, which is essentially a radio, and you talk. And if you get a reply back, you put in your journal, okay, the spirit box was an evidence that there was a ghost. Then you grab the thermometer, and if it goes to sub-zero temperatures, like below 0 degrees Celsius, you put that in the book. And so you kind of, through process of elimination, get all of these evidence, and then it will tell you what ghost it is. If you get that ghost, you leave. Now, in each game, you have a set of side objectives that you can do, like get a picture of the ghost, verify that it is below 0 degrees Celsius. So if no one brought a thermometer, you can't do that. And then if you do successfully do that, you get money for next runs to buy more equipment. And that's kind of the loop of it. It is the way you move in the game and like the environments, it doesn't seem like it would be scary. But when you have to use the spirit box alone in a room with the lights off and everyone else is like leaving and you're just like, hello, is anyone there? And you can't see shit because you didn't bring an extra flashlight and they have the flashlights instead and you can't see anything, it gets kind of tense. as you start hearing shit get knocked over, or like, you use the spirit box and you hear them answer, and you just sprint out of the room, leaving a little trail of pee along the way. Like,
Yeah, from what I've seen, this looks like that great ghost hunting experience where you go in there looking for a ghost and doing all of the things you can to antagonize them to come, and then when they do come, it's like, oh shit, we pissed it off. We should go, but wait, we can't. We need to figure out what kind of ghost it is. We need $20 to buy a candle next time. So Bill, get your ass back in there and yell at the ghost and try not to die. And it's like, oh fuck it. It feels like a low budget found footage horror movie that you'd find on Netflix. But
and honestly,
playing
that is exactly accurate. And not only like the way it's played when you're playing with friends and you have friends who are easily spooked, it looks like it plays like that kind of found footage.
We might have to play this together. Is it on PC or is it
PC?
PC.
If it plays Mac, I am down for this tonight.
If one of your friends dies, it's good to go back in and take like a picture of their dead body.
Just as proof, for insurance.
It gives you money as evidence.
He died on the
My
job.
friend died. You have a sanity meter that slowly decreases because you get this truck that's like an operation center, which can tell you the activity level of like the ghosts, and then it can tell you your sanity. And if your sanity decreases, you're more likely to get attacked. Well, I'm stupid, and like while I do get tense, I'm not necessarily scared, but I'll be at like 5% sanity, like, oh my god, I'm hearing noises. Trying not to freak out. Because when a haunting starts, when the ghost gets aggressive, it'll try to attack people in like a certain amount of time. And what the only thing you can really do at that moment, because there are ways to kind of slow that down by you can throw a cross before a haunt begins, and that will like delay it for like 60 seconds. And then you can like burn incense, which will also delay a haunt. But once it starts, you pretty much just have to go to a corner or hide in the locker and hope it doesn't find you. Because there's nothing you can do to fight it. And so it's literally, you go in a corner, you look at the wall, and you pray.
I don't want to play this game, but I want to. Oh, this is definitely one of those games that would just freak me out to no end. But I think I'd laugh.
It's fun.
I'd be hilarious playing this game. I would be screaming the whole time.
Oh yeah, that's fun to watch. That's good.
We had one friend who would refuse to go back into the house after a certain amount of time. He'd be like, no, I can't do it. I'll watch stuff from the van.
Should we play this tonight?
Oh, if you want to download it, it takes like 2 minutes to download. If you can get it, it's a lot of fun. And I'll play it again, for sure.
All right, Nick, do you want to play this tonight?
I can. I'll see if I can run it.
It's Unity, so like if you're going to be able to run it, it is up in the air because Unity isn't always nice to PCs. That place where he's standing right now, my friend died. He sat in the corner, looked at the wall, and hands come around. And he just started like crying. We're like, are you dead? He's just like It took us like 10 minutes before he was like, yes, I'm dead. For ideal immersion, you're supposed to not be in like a Discord chat, and you're supposed to be just using the in-game chat, but it's kind of broken. So what you do is you just, because when you talk, the ghost can hear you. And if you talk, he'll come after you, just like if you sprint. So you kind of want to...
If we play it, we're going to stream it here. And we're going to stream it just like in this layout that we've got now. And we'll be talking, we can talk over, StreamYard and just like a normal show, except...
You don't want to. And if you get caught and you die, it's worth like being quiet. Like if a hunt happens and someone shuts up, you're just like, oh no, they're dead. Like you're not supposed to talk after you've been killed
Oh.
to help with the immersion.
Yeah, no, I mean, let's face it, this is enough. I don't need to have it total immersion on this one. You're going to want to hear me screaming and crying like your friend. There's a lot of possibility of me just not being able to play this, of me just having to walk away.
In the game, you're seeing like one of the medium house levels. There's a small one, there's a medium one, and then you got a high school, which is huge, and you have to find out which room the ghost is in. And you get 5 minutes before it gets hostile. And the ways you can find a ghost is by checking the temperature of a room. If it drops too much, because ghosts will make the rooms always cold, but only certain ones drop it really low, where you see your breath, or like an EMF reader.
Mm-hmm.
But you got 5 minutes before it becomes kind of hostile and aggressive, and it just gets worse after that. And you can only carry 3 things on you at once. Ideally, you want one of those to be a flashlight, because if you don't have a flashlight and you get split up from the group, which happens a lot, you're kind of screwed. You get a little shoulder light, but it's basically like you can see a wall if you're running into it. So everyone kind of has to grab a different tool for time's sake.
Uh-huh.
But if you forget a tool and you're past the 5 minute mark, that's when things start to get really dicey.
Oh God, just you talking about that makes me like, I don't know, man. I'm gonna be like your friend. I'm gonna be crying the whole time. Ugh. God, just watching this is like bringing up my heart rate.
When you turn around and all you see is like a shadowy figure with a pipe in its hand, and then it disappears, you're just like, no, we gotta leave. But yeah, that's Phasmophobia,
right.
and it's fun.
It's worth it, huh?
It's a good party game for $14. Yeah.
So, anything else?
Yeah, I played a game that was less good and less fun. It's one of the games I got on Switch. It's one that we saw a couple months ago when they like showed off like the Nintendo's Treehouse.
AC Wraith writes in the chat room, "You'll be fine, Edie. You already have the white streaks. Thank you." I look like the mom at the end of what was that movie? With the girl that she died. The movie about the house that got built on the Indian burial grounds. Poltergeist. Yes, I already have the white streaks, like the mom at the end of Poltergeist. And he says, "Lights off with night vision camera mode on your faces."
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, everybody's like,
just have the
if we do it, we're gonna stream it.
Yeah, unfortunately I can't run it. I checked.
Nah.
But I played a game called Struggling.
Okay.
And
how appropriate.
This is. I thought it would be kind of easier and more fun than it is. It's kind of in the vein of Human Fall Flat, which was kind of a puzzle platformer game, kind of controlled like Gang Beasts, where you just have this kind of blocky, goofy guy walking around who can't really carry things, and you're trying to like put ladders in place that you can climb up and put boards down to make a bridge. And part of the fun of Human Fall Flat is managing this character that kind of controls bad and trying to, get through a level. But that game, there wasn't really any punishment for failure, and just the act of moving around was kind of fun. With this game, the way you control it is you're like this weird ball of flesh with 2 arms, and each arm is controlled with a control stick. So left controls left arm, right controls right arm. And you kind of have to use momentum to swing yourself around and use the triggers to grip. So you're constantly kind of moving like a monkey, grab a wall or grab the floor with one arm, extend it out and swing, grab the next area with your other arm, swing, grab, that type of thing. But the problem is that the momentum that you get and like trying to move your guy and trying to control your arms is really, really finicky because your arms are like giant noodles. And so they're not really strong enough to grab something. Or like when you're trying to, if I'm gripped onto something and I'm trying with the control stick to reach out and grab something else, it's always just this confusing, like, can I get it? Can I not get it? Where is it? Or maybe I've latched onto something and I want to grab something right next to me, but my arm keeps flipping over. And so I, throw it out and then try to curve it back and it flips over. And I throw it out and just trying to grab something next to me is like, okay, this isn't working. This is a pain in the ass. And unlike Human Fall Flat, which generally is a pretty forgiving platformer in the way that its puzzles work, in that you can make a bad bridge and still get across. Struggling requires a shocking amount of precision for a game that doesn't allow you any sort of precision in the way you move. And that can be a little frustrating. And the other hard part is when you get to an area that's kind of timed. Like in this video we're watching, you're just trying to, the guy playing is just trying to get across like this vat of acid, which, yeah, okay, frustrating, controls weird, but the obstacle is static. It's just sitting there and that's all you can do. Sometimes you'll get into places where the acid is rising. And so you're basically timed. And you have to go through your thing and you have to do things perfectly in order to get through. And where I ended up stopping is in this it was an interesting kind of boss fight in that it was kind of a pinball game where the acid is rising and I have to like grab my little fleshy ball with these arms sticking out of the environment and continually throwing him up to, have him get away from the acid. But those fleshy arms, like all fleshy arms, are really inaccurate. And so playing this over and over again, knowing that, okay, the acid is rising. If I miss, he's going to fall down and die, and I have to start over. And so I have to throw him up, and I have to keep throwing him up at the right angle. And every throw has to be perfect. And at a certain point, it's like, well, if you're going to make a game like this that's so intent on having these goofy bad controls, don't put yourself in situations where or don't put the player in situations where they need to be perfect. Like, give yourself some wiggle room for failure. And this game doesn't really do that. There's not enough wiggle room for failure to make it fun as opposed to just frustrating. And this part where they're at is a part that really tripped me up, and I ended up having to look up the solution. One interesting thing about this game is that you do get sort of new abilities as you go through. One of the new abilities is the ability to detach your arms. So like I can detach them and then grab on. So what you're supposed to do in this puzzle is detach one arm, grab its shoulder with your other arm, and now you've essentially got one arm that's twice the length.
Right, double length arm.
And you can use that to reach the button that he couldn't get to. But it's a hard thing to think about, when the game doesn't give you a whole lot to go on. Coming to that conclusion is a little surprising.
This is brutal. I instantly hate this game.
So this reminds me of a game that's less like Humans Fall Flat, and it's called Get Over It. And
Get Over It. Get Over It. I've played it. I like Get Over It. Get Over It. Get Over It is different because Get Over It has a weird set of controls, but they're not bad, right? They're not inaccurate. Like those controls are actually shockingly precise, and you can do some like real precise jump work in that game. if you're good at it and if you know what you're doing. It's just that it's a control scheme that is like so completely different from anything anyone has ever done before that it feels really weird and imprecise. But like I played that game and I've gotten like halfway up the mountain in that. And yeah, that game, it feels good to play. You know, like as you're trying to jump, the controls, that game demands a level of precision, and the controls allow you to do that. Like the controls support that level of precision. You can be precise in that game. You can't be precise in struggling, but it still kind of wants you to be.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. DJ Phil Collins says that it's a lot like QWOP, which is like this old. Was it a
classic internet
running,
game?
it was a
Java
running game.
Yeah, it's a running game. Yeah, Flash game. That's what it was. Where you like control your joints in your legs and knees with the Q, W, and OP buttons, and like it's so fucking weird. And just taking a couple steps in that game is a miracle. And this is a lot like QWOP, except instead of taking steps, you're supposed to, jump over a vat of acid.
So like, I'm guessing you don't recommend this?
I don't. I was really looking forward to it because I think it looks fun and it's got like a real dark, kind of sick sense of humor in the way that it treats this guy, and some of the bosses you fight are genuinely really clever. Like I got into a boss fight that was more pinball. And what was nice about it is it was a pinball game where if your guy fell down through the middle, nothing bad happened. He just shot back up and you kept doing the boss fight. And so it was a good fight because it didn't punish you for messing up. And so I could just enjoy the bizarre, dumb spectacle of this fleshy ball getting knocked all over the place, hitting into other fleshy, ball eye things, and having them all scream like they're really distorted, horrible scream. Like, in this game, life is suffering. And you see that a lot in like the way that you can just have them scream at any moment. There's like a dedicated scream button. And so it's fun. Like it's a dark, sort of sick sense of fun humor. And if the game embraced that and just kind of lets you be an asshole, and if it allowed you more of a chance to delight in the suffering of your fleshy ball, then it would be more fun. But instead, it just asks you to do a little too much too perfectly.
Also, and like, get over it. The narration as you moved through that game, it realized how like much you were gonna struggle, and they put so many like dialogue options. Like you think they would run out like after the first 10 minutes of saying stuff, but no, there's like hours of dialogue where it's like, oh, he made it halfway up, and now he has to start all the way back over.
That's right. I forgot
the frustration mounting.
Like that narrator is such a brilliant move because he's essentially trolling you, but he's trolling you in such like a very nice, passive aggressive British way of like, oh, you were so close there. Well, you just have to try again and keep trying. And he's such a dick, but it's so funny that you're like, oh man, fuck you, narrator. I'm going to go back there just to show you, just to stick it in your face.
And I'm guessing this doesn't have something like that.
No, it doesn't.
Ah.
Just the, the animal screams of your fleshy ball.
Oh, yes. The fleshy screams.
Yeah.
So this is definitely something I'm going to avoid.
Yeah, struggling.
The games like that and I are just oil and water. Not having it a bit. I don't even like watching it. It's like it's almost like the game hates you. Intentionally doesn't want you to win. And
like there are good ways to do that. Like getting over it is good. Human Fall Flat is good. QWOP is good. What's the multiplayer one with the all the men in speedos that you're climbing on each other.
Mount Your Friends.
Yeah, Mountain Your Friends is kind of like that.
See, Mount Your Friends was fun, but that
Yeah.
there was a joy in the impreciseness about it.
Exactly.
This doesn't have any joy. It has hate. It just wants you to suffer.
Exactly. It wants you to struggle. But
Yeah.
fortunately, struggling is too much of a struggle. So. Yeah. Typey.
Yes, sorry. Stupid mechanical keyboard.
I thought that was Edie, not you. Oh, I was trying to make fun of Edie.
That is me. All right. So, anything else?
That's all I've been playing.
All right. So, shall we hit the news?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Let's hit the news. This is the GameHounds news. Oops, sorry. This is the GameHounds news. The news, views, and commentary of the week in gaming with Gamer Edie, Nick DiNicola, and Big Sexy Andrew Smith. And our first item is
I just have to say the Ghost of Tsushima Legends update that puts in the co-op multiplayer mode was released, and I have only read good things about it.
That is exactly what I have heard. People are just pissing themselves about how good it is. It's Ghost of Tsushima Legends, right? That's the actual name of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the name of the update. You know, like to play it, it's not a standalone game. You got to get Ghost of Tsushima to play it. It's just a co-op mode, and it looks like it also adds a new game plus.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean by new game plus? I'm sorry.
Basically, when you play a game and you finish it, typically the game will let you either explore everything you've already done, or a new game plus lets you start over with everything you've learned, you've gathered. You basically start over with everything that you have now.
Okay.
Yeah.
At a higher difficulty usually.
Obviously.
So, yeah, that's cool. I'm looking forward to whenever you two pick it up. I will keep it installed on my PlayStation and play it with you at any point.
Well, we would have to completely finish the game before.
No, you won't.
You don't?
The Legends, the multiplayer, it just adds a new game plus for single player, but the Legends is a co-op multiplayer that you can start at any moment.
That was my confusion. I'm like, oh, do you have to finish the whole game to do the multiplayer?
Yeah, that would kind of suck.
Yeah.
It might be worth playing it a little bit just to get an idea for the controls.
How to play? Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, nice to see like such a substantial piece of content being a free update. Like that's props to Sucker Punch.
Yep. Yeah, it was a slow news week, to say the least. Both Andrew and I struggled to find some news. But my first item is if you were looking to buy a Switch and you have had a hard time, like me, early on, certainly the beginning of the pandemic, you might want to try GameStop. So here's the deal. You remember Reggie got on the board of directors for GameStop?
Yeah.
Reggie Fils-Aimé. Well, GameStop, I guess, has traditionally had a really hard time getting enough supply of Switches. They just were never got a full, enough to meet demands, and they were always shorted what they probably should have gotten for the number of Switches from Nintendo to sell. Apparently, that problem went away as soon as they added Reggie to the board of directors. Now they say Nintendo, GameStop has put it out there that says that they are absolutely having no problems getting enough Switches now.
Is this what? Imagine people at GameStop are like, "Is this what competent leadership is like?" No.
Yeah, it's not so much competent leadership. It's more not what you know, but who you know. But yeah, according to a comment by someone at GameStop, quote, "We receive more than our fair share of Nintendo Switches, and we sell those very rapidly." So, I mean, that's how bad in the barrel that news is today. That's my big news item.
I've got a couple of like interesting ones that are small.
Yeah.
So this was something I found on Reddit. I guess across a lot of stores like Steam and Xbox and Switch, Return of the Obra Dinn is on sale. Someone asked Lucas Pope, the developer, like, why is it on sale on PlayStation? And he said that Sony denied his request to discount the game on PS4, which is just kind of a weird thing. And the other people have speculated that it's probably because Sony likes to discount things in batches, to be like, here's the Halloween sale, or here's games under $15. A lot of times if you go on the store, you'll see games under X number of dollars, and it's a whole batch of things. And so maybe they're waiting to do something like that for Halloween, because,
Right.
it's right around the corner, that they would deny a discount at this time. But it's just a weird thing that you didn't think was possible. Or just, usually if a developer says, hey, I want to put my game on sale, why would the publisher say no? Or not publisher, but why would the storefront say no?
Right.
And
Yeah.
I
Why
guess
would
they
the
have
platform?
yeah. Oddities of the digital age, digital storefront age.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you played Return of the Obra Dinn?
Yes, I finished it. It's really
Oh.
good.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do it. I just haven't, and I don't know why. Well, I know why. Crusader Kings.
Same reason you don't have Tsushima yet.
No,
because-
same reason I don't have Tsushima. Same reason I haven't used my ESO Plus in a month.
How far east can you go in Crusader Kings?
You can go all the way to China. It's pretty much everything with the exception of North America, I think. I'm pretty sure.
I'd be interested if you did like a I don't know, some sort of explorer game where you just try to push as far east, west, north, or south as you can go. Just get to the edge of that map.
Well, I mean,
Get to the edge of
that's what you're supposed
civilization.
to be doing anyway. It's not like you can get up and move. It's not a get up and leave and go somewhere. You can play, you just pick the whole map. And I'm looking here. I'm pretty sure here we go. All right. So yeah, if you look, you can see there's Spain. There's
it looks like
Africa.
there's a solid chunk of Africa.
Right.
Like almost all of North Africa.
Right. And there's India. When he scrolls up.
Yeah, pretty much all the Middle East.
There we go. There's India. There's China.
Oh yeah. So India, China, like all of the mainland of Eurasia.
Russia. But the only thing it doesn't have is North America and South America.
And Japan. Like it looks like you can't go across that sea.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yep. So yeah, it's pretty much everything with the exception of the New World. It's all Old World.
Mm-hmm.
So Andrew, your item?
So PS5 released a video showing their UI for the PS5. I meant to say Sony, but yeah. And I have to say it looks pretty nice. It's pretty simple. But something they were going through like the features that you can do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I found interesting is how PS4 has share play or screen share, where you can go jump in and watch somebody else play. But it's kind of intrusive. It kind of takes like It takes your entire screen. You kind of have to shut down games to do it. And that's fine. But on the PS5, you're going to be able to picture-in-picture somebody else's screen share while you're playing your own game.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, so if someone just starts up in your party for screen share, you can click accept, and then you can put it kind of anywhere on the outside of your screen. So if you're playing on the same game and they're showing you stuff, you can have that up there in the corner doing that. Or if you're just chilling out, you can be sharing their screen while you're off collecting stuff. ESO, for instance.
Yeah, I think that actually sounds like a really cool feature, especially like in this pandemic world. A nice way to hang out with someone of just join the party and do like this picture-in-picture streaming where I'm watching what you're playing, you're watching what I'm playing. Well, we're just it gives you the ability to hang out with someone and play other games and still kind of feeling connected in an interesting way that you can't have done before. I like if it works as smoothly as it does in this demo. Like that's really, really neat. And I would be doing that all the time.
I've always been a big fan of like screen sharing and just like hanging out and kind of, hey, look at this, and then you look at your friend's gameplay, and then you go back to what you're doing. In Discord, I do that all the time with PC games. A friend will just hop in and they'll start sharing or whatever, and that's really cool. And it's not just limited to the game you're playing. Anyone could stream any game. And yeah, as you can see in the video, you just put it around the outside edge. You can increase the size. And I love that. I love the idea of essentially like sitting next to a friend with their TV on, playing together.
Yeah.
It's bringing it's making couch co-op, but two people playing together. It brings you closer, especially now.
They also had this interesting feature, and I can't imagine it's going to be implemented on all games. And if it is, that's going to be impressive. But what they've done is you have challenges in your game. And they have Little Big Planet as the example here. And in the challenges, it's like, all right, you're in this area, and you must find the monk ropes, which is it's saying on the screen right now. And it's in your area. Well, if you didn't find that or you're having trouble finding it, they will sometimes have videos, which is kind of like a guide. Like if you went on YouTube and you're like, look, where is this item?
Yeah, like what I did with struggling. You know, I'm at this puzzle. Well, shit, how do I get through this puzzle? And instead of me going to YouTube and scrubbing through a video to get to that puzzle, Sony has a better solution.
Yeah, it's just now baked into the game. Like you can go to the features of the game itself, and it'll have
it's saving me from having to go to my iPhone to put the game on pause, going to my iPhone, watching a walkthrough, and then going back to my game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny enough, it's exactly what Stadia promised that it would be able to do.
Right.
And it uses that picture-in-picture mode so that you can throw that up in the corner while you're playing, and you can just run along with the video while it's going.
That's pretty slick.
It is. And the thing that gets me about it is that I'm not sure about is it said that developers had to put that in there. So I don't know if this is like a community thing, if like the community will be able to create these walkthrough videos and then the developer will like select them, or if the developer has to make them. Because like you said, I can't imagine every game having this ability because it's kind of asking developers to make a walkthrough of their game at the same time that they make their game.
And just for PlayStation, like not for anyone else.
Yeah. So I imagine all the PlayStation exclusives will do this, of course, but I'm curious to see how this is implemented in some way to make it more accessible for smaller developers, because it's a cool idea.
Oh yeah, if you could have your community like send you videos that they approve, that'd be awesome. And I know there's be more than so many people would be willing to do that in their free time.
Yeah, I mean they already do.
Yeah. And one of the things is that it like tells you kind of there'll be times where it's like, okay, you have like 10 minutes left for this level. which seems like an interesting detail, if a little spoiler, like E.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. If you're looking at because the game is able to track like challenges. Like with Genshin Impact or any RPG, you have a quest, and I assume if this works how it seems is like I'll look at my quest list and it'll be like, this one will take you 30 minutes, this will take you 10 minutes, this will take you an hour and a half. It's like, oh, okay, that's a big story quest right there, and that seems like a nice way, if it's 2 in the morning and I'm like, I should get to bed. Oh, but I'll do one more 10-minute quest. Like that's nice, I think. Having some sort of little timer on what this particular quest line will entail.
Yeah, I agree to that.
Or
Everything.
I think it did that with like trophies too, of like, this trophy has you collect X number of things, and we estimate it will take you, 3 more hours to complete this trophy.
Yeah, no, I mean, it can be useful. I just don't know, like, I won't use it for some stuff because I don't necessarily want to know when a thing is going to end. Like, again, it's a bit spoiler-y. They seem to be going with a lot of just, I was going to say inclusion, but not exactly that. But having everything baked in so that it's seamless. Like in the video, someone invited you to a party. You don't have to leave your game now. You can just press a button and join that party.
See, I just almost think that that's a little bit invasive. Like I
really,
I may want to turn that off. Just having things constantly pop up. I mean, it's great if you only have a couple of people in your chat in your friends list, but when you've got 200 people in your friends list, that can be
so
overbearing, to say the least.
In the most recent update, they changed how party invites work. There's no longer a separate party menu like there was before. And 8.0, they've made it so essentially you make groups or like private messages, and those are your chat lobbies. So on PlayStation, if I want to go into a party chat with you, Edie, I would go to our messages that we have, and I would just click join through that.
Right.
So the only way you will get invited is if it's from someone personally.
Right.
Like there is no more open parties.
Okay. And yeah, Blood Reaper specified that time estimation, it takes into account your play style. So it's not just the developer saying, we think this will take you 30 minutes. It's it's them putting in some estimated time and then the game changing that based on what you've done before to say, no, this is how long we think it'll take you to play through this, not just everyone.
Right.
Which is good. Like it would just suck if like everyone else is like 5 minutes and it's like you're gonna take 45 minutes because you go through levels slow as fuck.
Yeah.
One of the things they do is they go from Little Big Planet to the Destruction All-Stars game, and it did kind of show you how fast loading is with the SSD, and games boot up immediately.
Right.
Like just unbelievably fast, and I am so excited for that. I'm tired of load times.
I am very tired of
Genshin Impact takes a while.
Yes.
Also, and again, this is something we don't know. Genshin Impact makes my PS4 fan louder than any other game I played. Like Ghost of Tsushima made it rev up a lot in certain scenes, but then it would rev back down after the loading was done. But Genshin Impact, man, it revs up and it stays at like max speed for a good 10-15 minutes. Oh, I feel like that game, weirdly enough, Genshin Impact of all games is going to break my PlayStation.
They're trying really hard to make the jet engine go away. With the PS5. Outside of that, with the PS5, the menus look similar to the PS4 in a lot of ways. It's just cards that you can kind of cycle through. And
it's still like the it feels like they've taken the cross media bar that's normally in the middle of the screen on PlayStation 4, and they've shoved that up into the top left to just give you more room in the middle for sub-menus.
Yeah, and it looks nice. It looks clean. It's not like Microsoft trying to redo their homepage like they were doing for like Windows 8.
Yeah, it's not like
And
Windows 8. That's Pro.
It's a natural extension of what we have now.
Yeah.
And then they've redone the store so that's all baked in. It's not its own app where you have to load it up like we do now. It's just...
I did see a story, though, that the PlayStation 5 store gets rid of PSP and PS3 games.
I noticed that. I didn't read into it, but I thought they were just removing it. Like they're done with the support of the PS3.
I think that's appropriate at this point.
I mean, well,
I don't hold it against them for
I feel like now
that.
they'll put those games on PlayStation Now and make you get PlayStation Now for it.
Probably.
But yeah, otherwise Sony's just not, unfortunately, they're just not as into backwards compatibility as Microsoft is. I'm one of the reasons I'm excited about getting the Series X is because I have a 360 game that I want to put in there and play. Because I can't buy it, like it hasn't been remastered anyway, so I'm like, I want to play this again.
Right. That is another nice thing that they've added to the UI is speech to text when you're messaging someone. That's something that they have needed, and I'm surprised that it has taken this long for this to happen.
It's because that shit never works as well as for me at least, it never works that well.
Well, yeah, true, but considering that the PlayStation really never had a chat pad, the 360 had a chat pad that you could buy that was really improved things. But the alternative is that you hook up your keyboard, which means you've got cords going everywhere. And I'm not into that at all. It's one of the reasons why I really hated playing Final Fantasy 14 on PlayStation. I shouldn't say I didn't hate playing that game. It is one of the things I hated about it is that I had to go through the ding, 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 enter, ding, 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 ding.
Oh,
enter,
yeah,
ding,
no,
ding,
you
ding,
have to get
enter,
a keyboard
ding,
for that
ding,
game.
Right, you have to. And I didn't want to plug in a keyboard and have, cords everywhere going across my living room and then have to unplug everything at the end of the day because otherwise somebody's going to walk across it and pull the keyboard out of the PlayStation and break the PlayStation. Or the dog's going to run across it, that kind of stuff.
That's what a wireless keyboard is for.
Yeah, well, I don't got one. And if I need to buy a wireless keyboard for my PlayStation, then it's failing.
It's like $20 though. That's not terrible.
I just don't need another piece
at least your dog won't trip over it. I know Buddy's a little slow.
Yeah. Number short. But I did love on the 360 the chat pad that fit very seamlessly into the controller itself, and it was a very fast little chat pad I could just use. I ended up buying 3 of them because they never lasted very long because I used them so much. But the PlayStation never had a chat pad, which I'm really surprised, or a voice to text. That would have solved the problem. A tiny bit of software that almost everything has at this point. Fuck. I mean,
well, they're
a little legacy item. This Amazon wand had voice to chat or voice to text and did just fine.
Apparently, it's going to be there and it's going to come out with multiple languages from launch.
Good.
I'm sure they're going to try to add more, but it's going to be pretty inclusive for the voice text.
So moving right along, we might as well talk about, since we're talking about PlayStation and the UI and things that were revealed this week that has to do with PlayStation 5. You might as well hit that thing you were going to bring about the PS4 update.
So
PS4/PS5 update.
In the PS4 update 8.0, they added a function where it records your party chat. Now, the way it tells you this is when you first update, you go into a party chat. It's like you are basically agreeing to be recorded while you're in party chat.
Well, I thought
And
it's not that they're doing that. It's that the PlayStation 5 has that capability.
Yes,
and so they're basically warning, hey, if you play with someone on PlayStation 5, they can record your chat.
And that's exactly right. But they don't have that in the update like notes. They don't tell you that this is a feature. And so when this popped up, people just assumed Sony was spying on them. So there was a crap ton of outrage about this. And people were like, well, Sony's just spying on us now. Time to get rid of PlayStation. And there's a lot of
come on, Microsoft's doing the same thing.
It's designed so that if you have toxic people in a chat and you need to report them, you can attach an audio file.
Right.
It doesn't record all the time. Sony's not listening to you and your friends talk about dumb stuff. So let's be fair. Most of the time it's dumb stuff. Even like when I'm chatting on PlayStation, it's not the most intelligent conversations.
Also, let's be real. They're listening. So is Microsoft. So is Valve.
Everyone's listening. You got
the NSA is listening to everything you say. They're
Your
listening to us
Dot
right
is
now.
listening to your Amazon Dot is listening to you right now.
I don't
your
have an Amazon.
Siri. I know I don't have an Amazon Dot exactly for that reason.
Yeah.
Sony is listening to everything. Apple is listening to everything. Come on, Siri is waiting for you to say her name.
Yeah, and your FBI agent knows what you've been doing, and they're proud of you. Good job.
But yeah, PlayStation has Sony has made it clear that this is all about so that you can report toxic players or toxic conversations. It's to protect you, not to listen in on you necessarily. Although, that's always the explanation when somebody's invading your privacy. If I'm doing this for you, I'm trying to protect good people from bad people.
Yeah.
It's always what they say. It's never what they mean. So let's see. Any other items? Anybody?
Just in cool news, a set of LucasArts games are coming to Game Pass. Grim Fandango Remastered, Day of the Tentacle Remastered, and Full Throttle Remastered are coming to Game Pass on the end of October.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. Good old classic adventure games on Game Pass. And I never played Grim Fandango Remastered. I think I bought it at some point. I think it was a PS Plus game, and I downloaded it, but I never did play it.
I played it. If you want to go take a little dive into the Wayback Machine and see what point-and-click adventures were like when I was starting out and see how brutally fucking hard they are, oh my God. When I played Grim Fandango, it was like, holy shit, how did I ever finish any game? They just were intentionally challenging. Like nothing glowed, nothing told you what to click on to move on. You just had to, and there was of course no YouTube, trial and error. There was no life raft.
Go through and click on each pixel.
You go through and you click on each pixel. God, the solutions on those things were convoluted, complicated, and no hints. Yeah. But they're fun. They're good. And it also makes you appreciate that when you do come across a solution, it is an achievement. You didn't need the console to give you an achievement. You knew it in your heart that you solved it. And it was amazing. But there were a lot of times that you'd be sitting there for days working on something, trying to figure out how do I get this to not be that, not happen this way? Looking for every little possible clue that could give you an idea of how to do this just right to get this to work.
Definitely the Dark Souls of point-and-click adventures.
The Dark Souls of point-and-click adventures. That is very good, very accurate for all of those games. So it was Grim Fandango, Full Throttle. Oh, there was a brutally hard game.
And Day of the Tentacle.
Day of the Tentacle. Okay, so not Dig or anything like that.
No.
Okay. Or sorry, so The Dig. Dig was good. I liked The Dig. Doesn't get enough love anymore. All right, so my next item is BattleNet launched Blizzard's streaming service. And if you were hoping to play a game on that, you might be waiting a bit. So it launched this week. And I say by waiting a bit, we mean that the estimated time, they would give you a time estimate, like you'd be waiting in queue for a game, and it would give you a time estimate of when you are going to be in the game. And the estimates were, if you did the math, because it gave you it to you in minutes, and if you did the math, it would be something like 45 days. One guy did the math and it was 1.2 years. And then it kind of slowly went down. It's like, okay, it's only 45 days.
I mean, that seems pretty reasonable. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm willing to wait 45 days to play BattleNet.
Right. Yeah. To play Black Ops Cold War 2.
What?
Or Black Ops Cold War. Yeah.
Why is there a queue? Like, what are you doing?
They would, when you attempted to log into battle.net, you would find yourself in with a, loading queue, and an extremely long one.
Like, BattleNet is the multiplayer thing, right? It's how you play online. Mm-hmm. So is no one able to play Overwatch online because they're stuck in a queue?
Yeah, pretty much. And well, it's I don't know what it is right now, but this is when battle.net launched the service. They said that the large wait times are possibly because the World of Warcraft and the Call of Duty Modern Warfare both rolled out major updates. So yeah, that happened.
What?
I didn't even know I didn't even know the battle.net service was a thing.
Yeah, it is a thing.
Well, I thought it was just Activision's, online thing. Like, that's how you get into World of Warcraft and Call of Duty and Overwatch and all those.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I mean, I've used that for any of my games whenever
it's
I play.
It's so weird that it would give you a queue. It looks like it's not doing it anymore, but it's just...
Oh, I guess they were just having a slow server or a server day.
Yeah, it's just that's just very, very bizarre.
Yeah, it was weird there for a while.
Like turning on Steam and having Steam say, "Just a moment, wait 43 days."
Mm-hmm.
Like, what?
So, next item.
I've got a couple from AC Wraith. He gave us a couple in the chat. One of them, this is a game I played at PAX called Phantom Brigade, which is this really cool time travel mech game where you're kind of playing the game in bits and pieces and then like hitting execute and watching everything happen in real time. Mm-hmm. It's really cool, and it is going into early access on November 16th. Which is nice because when I played that game at PAX last year, they said like, we're about a year away from release. So it's like, okay, this is a game we're not actually going to get hands on for a good long time.
What date is that?
November 16th.
What game was it, you said?
Phantom Brigade.
Phantom Brigade.
Yeah.
Pulling it up right now. Did you like it? I don't remember. Did I play that with you at PAX?
No, I sort of stumbled across it. There was an empty PC seat, and I sat down in front of it because I had heard people talk about it on podcasts to try it out myself. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's a really cool new take on a turn-based game.
Which I'm down for. Like, that's kind of awesome. I love turn-based like strategy games.
Mm-hmm.
Is it, what's it on? Is it PlayStation or
PC.
on PC? Here we go. Adding it to the stream now so that you can see it. All right.
The question is, are you going to be playing this or Cyberpunk?
Well, since I have a terrible PC, I'll be playing Cyberpunk.
When day does Cyberpunk come out?
I think that day, November 16th, or maybe the 12th.
That's ballsy, releasing on that day. But it's also
it's early access, so it's not the big release. And yeah, it's a very different genre.
Yeah, it's a different genre, different market. Different people are going to be playing it. So yeah.
I mean, this looks like something I'm interested in.
All right. So
one of the other things that AC Wraith gave us is this really interesting game that's coming out on Steam called 10MG. And basically, the point of it is that, as they said, a lot of games try to make themselves bigger and bigger. No, this is a series. Well, I don't know if it's a game or if it's like a project, but the 10-minute games project is basically 10 games that take 10 minutes, and they all launch on October 15th. And so I think they're all separate games, but they're all part of the same project. So I'm not sure how Steam will collect them together, but the idea of here's a game you can beat in 10 minutes, that is a nice idea.
And here's like,
when is it going to
bundle it?
15th
of October, November. Obviously, November.
Wait, yeah, it would have to be it's October 15th. It's already out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go to the Steam curator list for 10-minute games, and you'll find the whole list of them.
Sounds cool. My next item is I have nothing. It's all you, Andrew, at this point.
I've got a couple other.
Okay. Nick Carius.
Okay. Before I go to another one AC Wraith gave us. So, do you remember back a couple weeks ago when EA put an ad for the boys in the MMA game, and everybody freaked the fuck out, and they're like, "Oh my god, you're putting this ad in." And at the time I was like, it's there for half a second, it's not a big deal, but I was outvoted. So now that NBA 2K21 people seem to be playing it more and getting more into it, they've realized those unskippable ads are back because they were in the previous version. And so there's a tweet out there of a video, an ad for Oculus 2 that plays as the game is loading, that is completely unskippable.
See, this is why you don't allow it. You don't allow it at all.
But it's
you don't
already here. Like, don't shit on EA. People should be going and shitting on Take-Two. Go fuck up their social media.
Burn it all down.
Burn it all down the social media.
Like next, we're gonna be playing Borderlands 4, and we're gonna be having ads in the middle of cutscenes. That might be a bit extreme, but it doesn't stop.
At least, this idea of, hey, let's show an ad during the loading screen, that's really, really skeevy. But at least with the next gen consoles, the loading will be so fast they won't be able to do it.
They'll just bake in ads to the game. Like in an RPG, you'll get quests that are literally just ad placements.
Go find the rainbow and taste it. Brought to you by Skittles.
Playing Cyberpunk 2077. They stole the Coca-Cola truck. We have to go find the Coca-Cola cans.
So, NBA 2K series proving once again that it is the lowest bar.
Yeah. Well, I mean, are any of us surprised?
Sports games kind of all gather around that bar.
Yeah, but at the same time, those things do gather around that bar, and that does happen, but it's only, I think, a matter of time before it's gonna happen with other games too.
I mean, sports games are weird because the licenses to make them are owned by so few people. Like EA has like soccer licenses, and Madden and like football games in general, and most people don't even try to compete against that. So the people who buy those games only buy those games. Like that's the entire reason they own consoles or they play video games at all is for sports games. So they will always, no matter what they do, they will always have their base, and it'll be enough to keep making them.
Mm-hmm.
And that gives them free reign to do whatever they want in those games. Put ads in, sure, they'll complain, but they'll still play. Like 2K 21 was terrible at launch. Like everyone knew it was terrible, and it's taking off among that community. Like that is still growing as a game when it has no right to. Like it was legitimately bad.
Wow, this is a long. I mean, you're getting full commercials inside of this game.
Yeah.
Oh my God. While the game is loading. Holy crap. Just insane. Oh,
And it makes you wonder how long
I would be offended too.
It makes you wonder how long it was done loading for them to finish the ad. Because that's the thing, if it's loading and it's not done, you can make an argument for putting an ad there. Fine, whatever, it's just empty space. But if the moment you find out you're watching an ad for 5 to 10 seconds longer after the loading has been done, oh, that would feel so bad.
Yeah, you're sitting there in the store, you're looking at swags, you're buying your bandana, and like there's no loading going on now, but then they pop in with an ad. So it's not even just loading. It's like it literally stops the gameplay, so you have to watch an ad. And it'd be one thing if you like this was a free game, but it's not. And it's an ad you literally just saw 5 minutes ago.
Their IGN did a whole article about, I think it was FIFA. There was a sports game that they reviewed, and they were like, this is the same game from last year as it was before. So we gave it the same score but lower.
I saw that.
It's not what it's to.
I guess FIFA on Switch that came out this year is almost. I think EA has said it's the exact same game as last year.
Right.
So their IGN's review has a note at the top that said, "We just copy and pasted our review from last year." Because EA did it, so we did it too.
And we gave it a lower score.
I think it was the same score, but it was a low score to begin with.
No, they gave it a lower one because they're
they did?
Yes, it was that last year, but now it's lower because it's the same thing.
Nice.
God.
Clearly, the GameHounds loves sports games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you ready for more dystopian hellscape stuff?
Yes.
Always.
Okay. Facebook's head of VR recently stated in a video on Twitter that people should make sure their Facebook accounts are in good standing before buying a headset.
Oh no. So if you screw up and post something questionable or get into a fight, can they just lock you out of the VR?
They could. And what I learned reading some comments is that Facebook also updated the terms of service to say that it is a violation of their terms to use VR in ways that they don't like. So in theory, you could have your Facebook account banned for using VR differently in certain ways.
Did they say what ways?
Things
or was it
as
just
part of the
vague enough
terms like
that they-
invading personal
Porn?
space,
Oh.
like making lewd gestures, the new conduct in VR policies, let's see. Do not harass or bully other users by invading personal space without consent, nor conduct yourself in offensive or abusive ways, including making sexual gestures. And that can result in a ban to your headset. But also, it seems like depending on how you use Facebook, that could also get you banned. Like, it's not so much that doing this in VR gets you banned, but that because Oculus recently required you to link your Oculus account to Facebook, I've seen a lot of people say that, well, okay, I made a bullshit Facebook account in order to get around this, and Facebook is like, you don't have enough friends. We're not going to count this account as real. Or like,
basically
you don't like enough things. We don't think you're a real person, so we're going to disable this Facebook account, which by proxy disables your Oculus account and prevents you from using that headset. So,
which sucks. That means you can't just make a new account if you get banned. Like, you can't just start over.
They basically want you to tie the Oculus account into a verifiable Facebook account, your actual Facebook account. They don't want you making a throwaway Facebook account. They want it to be you and you for sure.
Did they say they weren't going to do this verbatim? Like,
yeah, but that was
when they bought,
yeah,
years ago.
Who's going to keep it to their
that
word?
Doesn't count.
And Google said, "Don't be evil."
Yeah.
They still say "don't be evil," but it means something else now. It's "don't be evil" to the company. Not,
they don't say they took "don't be evil" out of it.
They said, I think they changed it to "do the right thing."
Do the right thing,
which is vague because it's do the right thing for who?
For whom?
How do you
for
define
the company?
Exactly.
Basically, don't steal office supplies because that's evil. But you can do whatever. We will do whatever we want to everyone else.
Right.
Oh yeah,
we're doing the right thing.
Fine.
It's by selling your personal data because we're helping you.
But if you take that stapler,
right,
shame on
wrong.
You. Yeah,
black is white because it's the right thing to do.
they still. I mean, they definitely still have the "don't be evil" motto, like for their employees, for sure.
Oh, for their employees.
Yeah. They just, the company doesn't
but not
abide
the company,
by that.
Right? Not the company itself when it comes to their users. It's a Facebook. Fuck you, Facebook.
It's really it is kind of dystopian hellscape because you could buy this Quest for like, how much does it cost? $300, $400?
I think it was $200. Like I thought the Quest was their new cheap model.
Yeah.
Okay. Then $200, but still that becomes a $200 paperweight if you do something they don't like. If you get enough people to report you because they don't like you, you will automatically be banned.
And Facebook never bans people for just say espousing political views. I have a friend of mine that constantly gets banned on Facebook because he trolls people he doesn't agree with politically. Never does anything sexual, but has been banned numerous times for that.
Like I've seen videos of VR chat, and if you've never seen the game VR chat played, it is a cesspool of like memes and just sometimes the worst part of internet culture, like wrapped up into one fun package. And I get what they're trying to do, but there are other ways of going about it that doesn't, again, like, it's DRM taken to an extreme.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew years ago that DRM was going to be terrible. Like, again, with Xbox One, when they were mentioning going to be always online, there was always that fear that if you did something wrong, they can essentially brick your console. And my friend, every time I mention Facebook, always sends me a leak. DeleteFacebook.com. He is not a fan of Facebook.
No, nor should anybody.
Yeah.
I
Facebook is
use it for
terrible.
messaging.
I can't remember the last time I hopped on it. I have an account.
Yeah,
But-
it's been a long time. I've hop on it every once in a while, look at it and go, wow, I can't believe I used to be on this every day. It's just a cesspool, especially this time of the year. It always gets bad in September, October, and November, but it is now just a cesspool. And it makes me realize that I have not chosen my friends well.
I think that's a realization most people have had over the
I
last
have
4 years.
a lot of people that I don't agree with that were my friends, and that's the thing, is that they're my friends, and now I see them in a totally different way, just based on their QAnon Facebook posts. It's like, oh wow,
Well, I mean,
you're really not a like. Maybe I don't need to be friends with you, which is not a good thing. It's not a good thing to balkanize people based on their politics. The whole thing about politics is it gets better the more you stir it together and the more you have a mixing of ideas. And Facebook is not a mixing of ideas, it is a separating of ideas.
I think that's the internet in general. Like, just finding your own echo chamber and living there is a problem. So, I mean, I don't. It's hard not to hold it against people, but it's.
And here's a weird thing. And I find it very disturbing. I use Chrome, and I use Chrome for my own personal use. I also use that same account, my own Chrome account, at work to do work, to access my work stuff and to do my work. I work for a company that is involved with healthcare. So I frequently use phrases like sending messages in Teams and around and everything, and sending emails and stuff that use the phrase Medicare, Medi-Cal, that kind of stuff. I have noticed that when I pull up YouTube now, the ads that are being delivered to me are predominantly reduce your Medi-Cal payments. Is your Medicare payments really you're having a hard time with those? We can find you a better deal on Medicare. Like, if you're over the age of 55, you can get an expensive, it's like Medicare, 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 Medicare. All of the ads that when I'm trying to watch something on YouTube, it's all Medicare stuff. And it's
I'll bet that's because you're using the same account, the same Chrome account.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm using the same Chrome account, so of course I'm
I'll bet if
accessing healthcare stuff all the time.
I'll bet if you did those searches on Microsoft Edge.
No, they're not even searches. I don't do searches.
No,
you said with the Medicare searches, like you use a lot of things in that
Medicare search. They're not searches through Chrome. I am not searching anything through Chrome. I am using Chrome on my work, where it's like, on my own company's work portal.
Mm-hmm.
And I would type in the word Medicare into my company's work portal, like I am looking for a doctor that is involved with, has something to do with one of our Medicare accounts. I look up his name on our own directory, which I access through Chrome. And it is picking up that I am saying Medicare. I'm typing Medicare on not a Google search, but using Chrome on my company's portal.
Yeah, it basically tracks that.
Writing Medicare.
Also, it kind of knows your age range. So it's like, okay, they're talking about Medicaid, Medicare. True. You're between 50 and 60. Let's go ahead and this seems like a good ad to show you here. Like,
yeah,
there is no privacy.
Yeah. I mean, the time that I looked up the right amount of coffee per water to brew a good cup of coffee, like I was trying to see if I was putting too much coffee in to make a cup of coffee, because I didn't want to be wasteful. And I pulled up a Blue Bottle website where they said what the right ratio water to coffee to make the perfect cup of coffee. And I got Blue Bottle ads for a month.
Yeah.
Oh God. And it's like, oh, fuck me. I know. No, I will never buy anything from Blue Bottle simply because you did that.
Well, I mean, it's not Blue Bottle, but I mean, you kind of agreed to it. All the EULAs that we agreed to without reading,
Yep.
we agreed to it. Which is why I'm not really
Fucking
surprised.
hate it. Anyway.
On a side note, fun EULA
Yes.
thing, just because
Yeah.
of that transition.
Yeah.
In Baldur's Gate 3, they hid a quest in the EULA. In the early
What?
access. Yeah, so
Awesome.
in a place no one looks, they have hidden a quest in the EULA for that game.
How does that work?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I will
That's
look it up.
really cool, though. While you're doing that, just a couple things. In the chat, Coy Wallace has said that ESO has started to ban teabaggers. But in their statement, they say the person being teabagged has to ask the other one to stop before they can be reported. So you have to say, stop teabagging me, and then they don't stop for you to actually report them as a valid, like, offensive move. And also, another thing from AC Wraith is that Digimon Survive has been pushed back because everything is being pushed back.
What is being pushed back?
Digimon Survive.
Do we know when it's delayed to? Did they have any details about that?
Next year, 2021.
Okay.
It's a tactical RPG. Yeah. Oh, wait. Okay. At the end of their statement, they specified spring 2021.
Okay.
Like in the first paragraph, they just say 2021, and then in the second paragraph, they say spring 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
more things delayed.
The Baldur's Gate 3 EULA. Apparently, there is a hidden quest that it requires you to submit a recording of a chant, song, text, or poem, or even an interpretive dance that represents your interest in the Forgotten Realms, which is the core D&D world. And you only have 3 winters to complete or ignore this quest entirely. Failure to complete it will see you forfeit your right to any fame, fortune, and potential infamy as a founding member of the Guild of the Great Genius, which is basically them just screwing around.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that's pretty cool.
Any other items before we close out?
Yes, this is more of a PSA announcement because this is something I have been meaning to do for a while, and I should really get on it before it's too late. Xbox. So, as you know, Xbox Live Gold and Xbox Game Pass are 2 different services at the moment.
Right.
Game Pass is $15 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Xbox Gold is $60 a year. It's about $10 a month.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like about $10 a month if you buy it monthly. But if you can get a hold of a 6-month card, that's only $60, which is way cheaper. That's almost like $3 a month at that point. Way cheaper than the 15 that is Game Pass. Microsoft is still having their promotional thing where you can convert your Xbox Live Gold time to Game Pass time, which includes Xbox Gold. So you're not losing anything from that deal. You're just gaining Game Pass. So basically, if you go on their website, you cannot buy Gold in 12-month packs anymore. You can either buy it monthly or in 3-month packages. So this is a PSA to go out there, get 3 years of Xbox Gold so that you can then convert that into Game Pass for $1. Because doing so would save you several $100s at this point. And I say 3 years because you can only do this. This conversion works for a max of 36 months. So 3 years. And yeah, like it's a very, very good deal. And you can only do it if you buy those Xbox Gold passes 12 months from another seller. because Xbox,
Do you have
Microsoft
to activate
is not
them now, or do you add them in one at a time?
So you have to buy the gold, add it to your account, and
All
then
36 months.
all 36 months, and then go and do the conversion for $1.
Okay.
The thing is, though, is I heard that they had canceled all like cards that were out there that were 12 months or 6 months.
I don't think they canceled them. They're just not making new ones.
I had heard that they had basically revoked those codes. So if you had one and you didn't put it in, like it was
I don't
useless
think
now.
so. Like they're still being sold on Amazon and Target and all sorts of places. Like if those
wonder
were
if that's-
revoked. That sounds
Not
like
sure.
an incredibly dicey consumer move to revoke this thing that you just sold a bunch of people.
I don't think you're wrong at all. But this also might be why they stopped this in general. It's because they wanted to do that promotion and they did not want people to have the year.
No, the thing is, they want people to have that year. They want you to sign up for it because they want you in that ecosystem. So
take a look at the comments in that Amazon 12-month membership.
12-month digital code. I'm on that site too.
50% chance of it not working. No, I'd do the most. Yeah, I guess most recent.
50% chance of not working.
Well, I mean, those guys aren't helpful.
Oh yeah, this is like a buy one get one.
Oh, that's 2018. Basically, you want something that's like, yeah. So I'm not the only person that's heard it's not working.
Yeah, but it looks like the most recent reviews are all positive.
Mac download? Oh.
The only recent low review said it didn't work on his region. And yes, these codes are region locked.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'd heard. Like, whether or not it's verified, I'm not sure. Apparently, it's still working for some people.
Beware that if you have a current Ultimate Game Pass, redeem this card carefully. For me, it converted to Ultimate Game Pass and only lasts me 4 months. It was a ripoff from Xbox and Microsoft. Redeem on a PC to your Microsoft account and read carefully, or you'll end up like me with only 4 months of Xbox Live.
So that's so weird.
That is something that happened. Like if you have done that conversion, I think if because Game Pass includes gold. If you buy a gold pass and you redeem it and you're already in Game Pass, it converts it into an equivalent time of Game Pass.
Which is sketchy, though. That's not good.
It's not, but like
if you're buying a year for just playing online, you expect to be playing online for a year.
This is fucked up.
If you already have Game Pass, you're already getting gold. Like you're in that different ecosystem.
Fair, but I mean, if you want gold for a year, you would expect to get gold for a year, not 4 months.
By the way, look, did you see this comment here? I just purchased and it worked.
I don't know.
Review your order on Amazon after purchasing to see your code. Then you copy and paste the code on redeem.microsoft.com, not through your console or Xbox.com.
Yeah, I don't quite believe that. Comments are a good place to foster conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of people who are saying it's working, but I mean, there's also a lot of... This was a sketchy move. Removing gold for the purchasing of gold for a year was meant to kind of sow this confusion and push people towards Game Pass.
Exactly, because they want to push people towards Game Pass. But as of this moment, you can convert gold to Game Pass if you have not done it already. So, like me, if you have not done it already and you're getting a new Xbox, it's in your interest to load up on gold now, put it to your account, and then convert it to Game Pass.
And if anything goes wrong, you want to message Nick DiNicola at Twitter.
Yes,
and
yes.
let him know your frustration.
No, you
He's
you
not
want
on Twitter.
send your complaints to Thursday Nick on Twitter.
Yes,
He will
there you go.
listen to them and he will respond to them. He will help you.
They can't revoke what you have paid for. Oh, yes, they can. They can do anything.
And yeah, this is only for people that have not converted to Game Pass already.
Right.
If you're already in Game Pass, you're already there. You can't do it.
I don't think I did.
You wouldn't have. There's no reason for you to have done it.
I have this vague memory that I might have gone on and looked at it.
Because you have an Xbox.
I do.
But you
can
never
also
use
do
it.
for- I may have tried it once because it's on PC too. Like anything you get on the Game Pass, you'll get on PC as well.
Mhm.
So
True. Yeah.
I don't know if I tried it.
All right. So I got nothing else. You guys good?
I'm
Yeah,
empty.
that's all I got.
All right. Well then, let's close. Wait. Let's close this out. Come on. There we go. You've been listening to GameHounds, episode 567. We recorded this on Sunday, October 18th, 2020. I've been Edie Sellers. With me has been Nick DiNicola and Andrew Big Sexy Smith. If you ever want to get a hold of us, it is gamehounds.net is our website, and gamehounds@gmail.com is our email. We record this show live every Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on Spreaker. That's speaker with an R, Spreaker.com. You can listen to our audio chat. Or if you want to actually see our shiny, happy faces, you can go to a multitude of places. You can go to YouTube under GameHounds Vids. You can go to Twitch under The GameHounds, or to Facebook under The GameHounds. Watch us do this live. Plus, we also have videos, and you can see Big Sassy's beautiful eyes just staring at you right now. If you are watching us on YouTube, please don't forget, I am seeing 9 people in the chat room. I'm seeing 2 thumbs up. Hello. Hit the thumbs up on YouTube. Please, please, please. It does help. And if you hate us, hit the thumbs down. That's fine. Just hit a thumb of your choice. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell. Don't forget to hit the subscribe. And that goes for Twitch too. Make sure you get your notifications and you follow us on Twitch. Also, we do have a Patreon account. If it pays for this right here, all of this video going on, this is what it pays for. We only ask for $1 a month. It helps offset the costs so that we can afford to bring you this every single week, as we have for the last 13 years on GameHounds. It is patreon.com/GameHounds. I want to thank once again AC Wraith, our link bitch, who provides all the links for everything we talk about no matter where you are watching or where you see this. Everything we've talked about has been sourced, and it's been sourced in the comments. Thank you, AC Wraith, for doing that. You are keeping us legit. Nick, Andrew, we will talk to you next week.
Take it easy.
All right. Have a great night, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Wear your mask. So we're muted right now on the audio stream, but I also want to put it out there. Don't get a flu shot. And I say this, do as I say, not as I do, because I have yet to get my flu shot. I am going to get one. I have to get one.
Shame on you.
I know it is, but get your freaking flu shot, because the fewer people that go into the hospital this cold and flu season, the better, because COVID's coming back, and it's coming back with a vengeance once it starts to cool off. So go get your flu shot now so that
already
you
got
get
mine.
you did? Good for you.
Yeah, I got mine weeks ago.
Yeah, I have to do that. Kevin got his a couple of weeks ago. I have to get mine.
Unrelated, but just an interesting
Ray
story.
got his too. Thank you, sir. Thank you for doing the right thing and being a better person than I am.
There was a article that in the Netherlands or New Zealand that the precautions for I'm down with it. Yes, Corey Wallace. For just $6 a week, you can help someone like me out.
So, look at that face. So, you were saying?
Yeah, and Netherlands or New Zealand, I'd have to look up the article. The precautions for COVID were so good that they decreased the flu rate, mortalities by the flu by 95%.
Yeah.
I think that was New Zealand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where I want to go and retire. I want to retire in New Zealand because they are so reasonable. They are so smart. Bless that country. They give me hope that we're not all going to go off of a cliff like a bunch of lemmings. Oh, New Zealand is so great. Yeah.
I don't think they'll allow Americans anymore.
No, I am going to have to hide.
No place does at the moment.
I'm going to tell them I'm Canadian.
They'll know, Edie. They'll know.
Hi, y'all. I'm from Canada.
All right. I have to go run and put a brake light in my truck.
Okay.
I've put off for 4 days.
Go run and put a brake light on your truck before you get pulled over and get a fix-it ticket. Nick, everybody in the chat. Oh, that was loud. Everybody in the chat room, thank you again for being here. We will be back next week, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. Have a good week. Take care of yourself. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. Get your flu shot. And we're out.